Don't worry, Spock. It is against Starfleet regulations to... Spock, land on a previously unexplored planet without record, Spock, of said mission on Starfleet database. We've been over this. It was settled half an hour ago. I do not remember agreeing to your proposition. Look, Spock. Khan's release has been ordered. They specified that the planet Korriban 1 would be an ideal place to desert the superhuman maniac and his crew. Do you have any idea what Korriban 1 is like? I admit I have not taken the time to research into the terrain of that particular planet. It's a lifeless Spock. A freezing desert with barely any food, and what there is hardly palpable. It's a breeding ground for sickness and bacteria. Unstable, volcanic, capable of sporadically creating monstrous fissures faster than you could take it all in. Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't exactly call that a pleasant vacation spot. I would say it were a fitting prison for a homicidal criminal willing and ready to cause immeasurable damage to anyone who might cross his path, if the appropriate death penalty is not to be assigned. Spock, that's not the point. Some lives... Spock, for it is better than death, therefore, by definition, better than what he deserves. I would think you, who has suffered so strongly at his hands, should not be concerned yourself with his comfort. Spock, that's not the point. In condemning anyone's life to this hell down there falls into... Spock, that's not the point. Some lives are worse than death. And I think this is one of them. I'm sorry, but there are some things I won't do. And condemning any living thing to that hell down there falls into that category. Captain, do I rightly assume that you are intending to release Khan and his followers on Ceti Alpha 5 instead? Yes, you correctly assume that. Morning, sir. Hi, Scotty. If you don't mind, sir, I'll be needing you to sign this authorization for the recalibration of the warp drive. They've been giving me a wee bit of an attitude. What? Is there danger involved? There's a wee bit of risk, I suppose, but nothing we can't handle, sir. Seeing as that's the case, I would have to object, Captain. Of course you would. Seeing as it is against Starfleet regulations, and seeing as you have not taken the time to consider the drawbacks, and seeing as you are not authorized to make this kind of decision regarding the alteration of orders that clearly stated... And seeing as they ordered that Khan and his crew are to be released, and said specifically that Korriban 1 would be an ideal place to maroon them, and did not... And seeing as they ordered that Khan and his crew are to be released, and said specifically that Korriban 1 would be an ideal place to maroon them, and did not specify that that was the place they were to be left, technically, we're not disobeying orders. Besides the fact that once Khan and his men are on Ceti Alpha 5, I doubt Starfleet officers are going to risk their lives to move them. That does, surprisingly, make logical sense. That's the spirit. Now you better head back to that bridge. I gotta go. Bones is probably already in the shuttle. Captain? Yeah? You are not leading the landing party. You might get killed on the planet. Well, someone's gotta go. And to be there in case quick decisions need to be made. What, are you suggesting that you do a better job than me? That is very likely, but in any case... Oh, come on, Spock. In any case. Spock, you're a stickler for logic. You think in a bucket. You know there's a reason that... Spock, you're a stickler for logic. You think in a bucket. I do not understand that metaphor. You know there's a reason that I am captain and you're not. Which is even further reason that you should stay here where you're safe. Jim, are you coming? It may be that I am more capable in making quick, reasonable decisions than you, Jim. And in a moment of this importance and potential danger, I would suggest that you remain behind, where you can command the ship should failure be inevitable. If you're so much more capable than me, shouldn't I be the one to go down there and get killed? I did not say I was more capable in general, only in making decisions that may cause emotional instability and inclination to give in to what you call a gut feeling. Besides, as first officer, it is my duty to die for my captain. Is something the matter? All right, Spock, do your duty. What's going on? Doctor, I am accompanying you, Mr. Chekhov, and Lieutenant Uhura to the planet's surface. You shall be reporting to me for the duration of the trip. Damn it! Mr. Scott, are you ready to beam down to the first of the casks? Captain on the bridge. Aye, sir. The cradles are set and ready to be let out of the treetop. Very well, Scotty, let her rip. Aye, sir. Where's Captain Kirk? Spock, I thought you were to be left in command of the ship. Plans have changed, Neoda. The captain is to be left in command of the ship. Mr. Stiffneck here told Jim that he was more capable of handling this mission than the captain. What? Spock, you didn't. While the Doctor has many faults, Miss Uhura, lying is not among them. Well, thanks. We are ready to depart. Thank you, Mr. Chekhov. Really, Spock, did you really say to Jim that you were more capable than him? I did not specifically state that I was superior in every manner, but you insinuated it. I just don't see how you could do that. I am superior, however, in the area of making decisions void of emotion and therefore more helpful in emotional situations. Guys, is this really the time to discuss this? Jim is more capable of command than you. That conclusion was not derived from logical reasoning and therefore cannot be assumed accurate. Oh, yes, it can. The very fact that you are refusing the logic of my reasoning suggests that there is no logic in yours. And there's logic. Just the logic that he saved all of us from impossible situations. I really don't think it wise to fight and fly at the same time. Besides, you didn't put 1 second of thought into how that would hurt the captain's feelings. Former successes do not determine future victories. Logically, I am the best candidate for... just because you don't have feelings doesn't mean your statement that I have no feelings is also illogical, as I have told you repeatedly that I have. And your reprimand against hurting feelings is contrary to you for your negligence to beware of hurting mine. A lot you care about emotional negligence. Sorry, but Dr. McCoy is right. We are approaching the planet, and I thought you might want to be aware of it. Well, that's the kind of spunk I like to see. Notwithstanding, we must all turn our attention to the approaching planet. As we are preparing to leave, Mr. Chekhov, please signal the captain that we are preparing to land. Mr. Chekhov, please signal the captain that we are preparing to land. Yes, sir. To prove how much more capable we are than him? Did you just quietly make reference to, she was only saying she's looking forward to the mission? Indeed. Incoming message from the shuttle. On screen. We are landing on the planet's surface, sir. Yeah, that's nice. But from now on, I want the incoming messages to be from Mr. Spock. Sir? Well, he's my first officer and the leader of the mission, and I'd like us to remain in contact. Very well, sir. I shall transfer you immediately. Good. Landing. Side view. Land successful. We shall proceed with the mission. Okay, we'll be monitoring your progress. If it weren't for the lonesomeness, I wouldn't mind living out the rest of my life here. I doubt it will be lonely with all of Khan's crew to inhabit it. I would think, in fact, it would prove rather exciting. Well, that's the kind of excitement I could do without. They appear to be stable, sir. But you must be careful when you release them. There will only be a short amount of time between when you set them off and when they will open. How much time, Mr. Chekhov? I would say 5 minutes, 5 to 10. Thank you for your observations, Mr. Chekhov. Ms. Uhura, are you monitoring? Yes. Very well. Dr. McCoy, please proceed. Well, let's see now. Last time we opened one of these, it was released from this valve here. We shall have to move at an utmost speed to achieve the release of all the crew. When I order retreat, you almost retreat to the transport, no matter what you are doing. Is that clear? Yep. Yes, sir. Proceed. Ah, yes. No, I believe it was here. It worked! Let's not lose time, Doctor. You know, it's funny. I don't know why, but I thought something was going to go wrong with that. Evacuate! The doctor! I'll get the doctor. I shall get the doctor. I'm staying with you. That is a direct order. Spock, I'm not heartless. Neither am I. But you shall do as I say or face the consequences. For heaven's sake, ask her. There is a need for commanding officer to behave. There is no need for a commanding officer to behave courteously. A commanding officer is to be obeyed. I'm not staying for my commanding officer. I'm staying for my friend. And I'm not listening to stiffy regulations at a time like this. It is mandatory that you obey my command. Spock, hurry! Return to the craft. That is a Starfleet order. Do you wish to face the penalty for refusing to submit? I don't care, you idiot! I'm worried about you! Don't move, Spock. Unless you want her blown to oblivion. Your doctor was kind enough to supply the weapon. Now, won't you ask him to come back and free my friends? Then we'll be using that shuttle of yours. Spock, no. Doctor. Spock? What's happening? Spock, tell me that's not who I think it is. Ah, is that James T. Kirk? I thought is that James T. Kirk? I thought an end had come of him in a heroic act to save his ship. Get out of there, Spock! Sir, the transporters! The room just blew! McLean barely got out alive. Yes, I had that planned from before I was encased in my icy home, in case you tried to beam me or my crew someplace to maroon me. If you took us down in a transport, the least we could have a fair chance of fighting, and if you waited the extra time it would take for repairs, it would be just the time I needed to plot a way to gain the upper hand. Kirk, you don't seem to understand my motivation as well as I had hoped. Well, this planet is quaint and homey. I prefer freedom to a wasted life. Freedom killing the innocent? Captain, I don't kill unless provoked. Even the weakest life, from the lowest form of intellect, has its uses. I understand that. But you ought to understand what a waste it is to leave me marooned on this totally useless planet. I'm sure that if you were in my place, you would have done the same thing. Unfortunately, he has a point. He always has a point, sir. That's the problem. He always has a point, sir. That's the problem. He's always twisting a fact and a point to get the other hand. He's playing you right now, sir. Not this time. Khan, what you're saying is irrelevant. I cannot and will not let you take my ship. Every man has a price high enough. No price is high enough for the galaxy. Sorry to interrupt, Captain, but I don't see the point in discussing this with you. You're far away, safe and sound in your ship. Your crew here are far more accessible. Besides, it's their shuttle I want. Do not touch her, or you shall not. Do not touch her, sir. You shall lose your one and only bargaining chip. Do not touch her, sir, or you shall lose your one and only bargaining chip. But, no, I am not interested in your advice, Mr. Spock. I know how to manipulate my victims just fine without your help. Get your hands off her! Khan, wait! We can talk about this. Listen to me. Listen to me. Sir, if it were me, I'd put as much distance between us and that planet as possible. No, damn it! I can't just leave Spock and Chekhov and Uhura and Bones on that planet with him. There's got to be a way. There has to be a way. Maybe there's not, sir. I should have left despite Khan's threats on Lieutenant Uhura. What? No! Where you aired was not asking her to go in the first place instead of commanding her. If you hadn't given in to Khan's threats, she might have died. Now we shall all die, and doubtless many more. Why couldn't you have just asked her? Well, why couldn't you have just said, Uhura, would you go, please? That would not be logical. Yeah, but it would have worked. Nevertheless, she is obligated to obey my command. He's right. A Starfleet officer is always obligated to obey commands of a superior ranking officer, despite personal... Oh, why don't you shut up? Yes, sir. She thought that all you were thinking of was regulations. Only besides not taking kindly to being bossed around. If you had asked her imploringly, she would have trusted the importance of the situation. Otherwise, she would think you just needed she needed to be there to see that you didn't risk your life in vain. Not because of your stiff-necked rules, you see she happens to have an eye for you. Because of your stiff-necked rules. You see, she happens to have an eye for you. Damned if I know why. Happens to care about what happens to you, Spock. And if I were you, I'd treat her with respect. It's a rare thing. Drink this. I warned your captain that I would do anything to free my family. With the dedication he's shown to his, you'd think he'd be more understanding, really. You intend to take over cities, oppose nations, Khan. My captain would never force a living thing to do something it didn't want to unless death was the only other option. You are a self-centered, narrow-minded, idiotic animal. That is the first time a female has dared insult me. Do it again. You're